What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny, back with another video. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today's video, out of Detroit. Shout out Eminem, T Grizzly, 42 Doug. That's some really the only visuals I know there. I really don't pay attention to the Pistons or the Lions. But my question for Detroit right now is, do Black Lives matter? And I say that because this video that I'm about to play, man, really makes you question this whole narrative that's been pushed to America. If you haven't seen enough things to make you question it, this really, really touches the heart. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like what you hear, share the video far and wide so we can enlighten the masses. Now, everywhere you turn, it tells you the greatest threat to your life as a little black boy is white supremacy. But what I know and what my father taught me is that if I was ever lose my life, it would be somebody that looked just like me. That's what my dad said. When I got old enough to drive, my dad said, boy, don't be riding around with them in your car because somebody could be shooting at them and you ain't got nothing to do with it and you could lose your life. So to this day, if I'm in the car, my gym bag is in my passenger seat because my father raised me with that mentality to not ride around with people because you never know what they got going on with their life. Now watch this unfortunate situation.
Sitting in the passenger seat of the car holding her 9-month-old baby boy right to her, right through the alley here. Two gunmen rushed up to the car on either side, fired into the car. The young mom was killed. The boy's young father was also killed. Somehow, that little boy was not hit. He's okay. He's with his grandmother tonight. All of this taking place right here in front of 8 different cameras, giving us a more clear look of who police are after right now.
The offenders came from the north. Both of them were armed with handguns, gun in hand, ran up to the vehicle, directly to the vehicle, and fired shots into the vehicle.
Detroit Homicide Commander Mike McGinnis walking us through new, more clear video.
Now, first off, let's talk about 8 cameras.
Capturing what police...
8 cameras. And these 2 young men, black men, I'm sure if you were to talk to either one of them, they would say white supremacy is holding them back. They would say that the white man is the reason that they're in this environment they're in. I'm sure they would say the white man is the reason that they're carrying these guns, right? Because there's a lack of accountability that comes 100% from the inner city. And no matter how bad the issue is or what the atrocity is, because we always want to deflect. These 2 boys are wearing skinny jeans, which means they're influenced by what? Hip-hop culture. Ain't no way around it. Because we can guarantee that they probably was raised just by their mamas. Because 80% of our kids are born out of wedlock. And so hip-hop raises our kids. And so when you have songs like Walk Down on Them, Murder on My Mind, when you have these kids in a hyper-stressed environment 24/7, when you don't talk to them about hypnotic rhythm and how thoughts become things and frequencies and vibrations, you got a bunch of little demons running around. And that's what you see right here. And there ain't no other way to describe these kids, but these are dark, lost souls that need to be saved. Because you know and I know, there is nothing really serious enough to where you say, I'm about to get a gun, walk up to a car in a gas station and just shoot. The lack of emotional maturity and the lack of control that our young boys are displaying, it makes sense why the propaganda can display us as nothing but criminals and hypersexual men. Because the masculinity and the self-control has been lost for a while now. Now, why was this baby in the front seat of the car? I don't know. The mom could have just been feeding it. Did this young lady know that this man had this drama or this beef going on? I don't know, maybe. But this is why young girls need fathers. Because her father should have vetted this man out before she went on a date with him, before she had a baby with him. But because our homes and our communities are so broken, our young girls are just dating whoever drive a nice car or got some gold teeth in their mouth or look like they got some type of swag. Our young boys want to copy whatever rapper is on TV, not understanding 51.7% of all rappers die in homicide. A craft that you literally go in a booth and talk over a beat, 50% ends in death. I think, just my perspective, that law of attraction thing, it got to be something. If you writing those lyrics down and you get in the booth and you saying them with some emotion and some feeling, I don't know. I just know Melly talked about murder on his mind, and he did what he did. I heard a bunch of songs of Nip talk about they won't catch him slipping, and they think they did. I know it's a bunch of videos of XX Extension talking about how he, you know, felt some negative energy around him and something happened. I know you can go all the way back to the 1860s and see Abraham Lincoln wrote a letter about his death 10 days before it happened. So I think this frequency thing and this vibration thing has always been real. And it's just someone else knows that, and the masses of our inner city young boys don't know that. So we are unconsciously following the negative side of life, and this is how we turn out.
Police are calling a shocking, targeted hit. Two young men dressed in dark clothing rushing up to a car.
Like, how disgusting is this? Like, look at this image. Like, imagine if this was two white people. God damn, this is on CNN, Fox News, ABC. This is breaking news 24/7 scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Two white supremacists shoot up car, killing parents. Two KK members target young black couple. I mean, you name the headline, it's there. But because it's two black men that killed a young black woman and a young black man, nobody gives a damn. Nobody cares at all. And so, do Black Lives Matter? Because from my perspective, this young lady is not much different from Breonna Taylor. She was hanging around some guys who was in some BS and was an unfortunate target. Not even a target, was just a bystander on some BS. But we got to keep it G. A lot of chicks be messing with some men that they know they shouldn't be involved in. One of the things I always heard is my childhood is you play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And we got to call this behavior out. We can't make excuses. We got to teach our young kids about it, because this 9-month-old baby is growing up without a mom and dad. In this so-called racist America, who took this boy's parents from him? Who made it where he got to grow up in poverty? Who subjected him to the worst lifestyle? Who subjected him already to come from the bottom? I don't think white society did that. I don't think white society has played a role in most of our inner cities. If anything, it's when white liberals. You look at the average inner city, and for the last 50 plus years, they all been ran by Democrats. In Kansas City since 1920, we've had 2 Republican mayors. Yet everybody runs around talking about how bad Republicans are. Everybody thinks, but no one thinks.
Opening fire multiple times. A young father, Benson Lindsay, and his girlfriend, Marche Nash, both 22, were killed. Marche was holding the couple's 9-month-old son in her arms. Somehow those shots did not hit that baby boy, but did take away his parents forever.
You're a kid growing up without your parents, that in and of itself is going to bring trauma.
2 22-year-olds gone. 2 young men who just, for whatever reason, like, how mad could that boy have made you? Was that one of y'all girls? Was one of y'all talking to her on the lower? There's so many petty things that happen. And I can say that because I grew up in the inner city. All of these homicides be over the smallest, dumbest issues in the world. Because he owed me $5. Because I let him wear my J's to the club last night. Because he beat me in basketball. Our homicide rate is so ridiculous, and none of it is over real issues. I've had guns put out on me simply because I beat people in basketball multiple times in life. We all know how soft these men in the inner city are because they raised just by their mama. So they got to stick to this gangster image. And what image do you see all over TV? Skinny jeans and guns. And you can credit, like I said, the new wave, the Chief Keefs, the Young Dirks, the King Vons. But I ask you, where are them young boys' lives heading? Because what goes around comes around. You cannot live this negative life and throw all this negative energy out into the world and assume that you won't get that back. Now, if you're comfortable with receiving that negative energy, then by all means, do you. But at some point, we got to take ownership on ourselves, man. It's not the world. It's not America that's holding the most black people back. It's not anything bigger than how we individually treat each other on a day-to-day basis. It's the fact that most individuals don't love themselves, so they don't love thy neighbor. Every time you take somebody else's life, you're in a sense taking your own life. And until we as individuals love ourselves and understand the power that's within us, and we want our community to flourish, I want every little boy and girl to have an opportunity to succeed. But something else that I can understand a little more clearly now for myself, that if you ultimately believe that life has a purpose, then you also have to believe that suffering has a purpose. And it's up to you to find the reason that you're suffering or that you went through certain things. On the flip side of that, your death has to have a purpose. Because we all owe something to life. So if you can get out of that mindset, what can I take from life? What does life owe me? And you can say, what can I give? What can I put out to the world? What can I inspire? What can I leave behind that's there 200 to 300 years after I'm gone? That's the big purpose. That's the big picture. That's the master key system. That's what changes us from competitors to creators. So prayers for this 9-month-old little boy who's growing up without his parents. Them young boys in them skinny jeans, man, y'all gonna have to read what y'all sow, whether it's by the law or it's by the hypnotic rhythm of life. You can only run around doing so much dirt until dirt show up at your front door. You know what I mean? Until next time, YouTube, spread love, spread positive vibes. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. And we are out.